Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Canary Central channel. And well, it has certainly felt like a long time since I've done one of these, as the international break has now officially ended with England losing to Japan and drawing to Uruguay. Now we go back to proper football as Norwich City take on Portsmouth on Easter Friday as well. It has certainly been an incredible international break for most Norwich City players that have gone out and served for their countries on the road to the 2026 World Cup. And well, it's the final stretch now for the Championship, as Norwich City looking like they can be pressing for the playoffs in what we have 7 games left in the Championship, as we sit 10th with 54 points at the minute, and with 6th place Southampton being on 63. There is a 9-point gap between us and Southampton, and it looks like it could be a potential big fight for Norwich City to go in and potentially scrape that playoff place if they can properly fight for it. All I'm going to say is that we're going to have to win every single game if we do want that, but I think that fight is still on, and I think Felipe Clement still believes in that idea that we can get into the playoffs, because I mean, the amount of teams that have been in that 6th place position have fallen off or have gone even higher is unbelievable this season. You've had the likes of Birmingham, Derby, Wrexham, all in that sort of area that have gone into that position, have fallen off, and it provides Norwich City that comfortable feeling that we could potentially still scrape that position, even after that loss against Southampton and Birmingham before the international break. But still, I think with us having won 5 games in our last 6, I think we have that potential of still going for that position, as Felipe Clement, in my eyes, is the manager of the Championship season, as he's practically revolutionised this team and has allowed so many players to really show their true potential, as players coming off a brilliant international break such as Ali Ahmed, Kenny McLean and Callum Fisher, who showed his, a brief cameo at Carrow Road for the last 15 minutes up against Moldova with that 4-1 win for the England under-21s, as Jovan Makama looked like he could potentially have gone in that squad, as Lee Carsley said that he would have actually gone and picked Jovan Makama if he had not picked up that injury. And to be fair, what a player he could be for the England national team if he wasn't injured, but that's okay, as Aaron Mundell-Smith also showed his ability for the England under-20s, looking absolutely fine as usual, with Jose Cordoba scoring for Panama in what was an incredible game for them. And I can't wait to see him play up against England in the group that we have now that has officially been placed. But yeah, Norwich City currently sit 10th for the minute, and yes, I think we can really press for the playoffs, as I've said previously. I mean, you've got players such as Mohamed Toure and Oscar Schwartau looking like they could come back up against Portsmouth. I mean, to be fair, I think I'd more expect them to come back for the Ipswich or Millwall game, potentially, but I think Schwartau looks like he's officially back and will probably be on that bench for the first 75 minutes up against Portsmouth, and I think it could be an incredible game for him to come back and sort of bring in his playing style again before taking on the likes of Ipswich, because I would like to see him in that squad compared to players such as Gibbs, who have filled in his position while he has been out. But I think this Portsmouth game is going to be the big decider, whether we do actually look like we will be fighting for the playoffs or we're just going to finish in a high mid-table spot, because many critics do look like they're sort of somewhat saying that Norwich City are just going to finish mid-table, and if they do, still a brilliant season. And I think if we can press the playoffs, I think it'd be a tremendous end to the season for what we had at the start compared to now. I think I'd take any position other than the relegation place at this point. But anyway, with Oscar Schwartau potentially coming back, that very diverse, very skill-based playmaker, I'd love to see back, because we haven't really had that creativity in that winger spot, because you've had players like Gibbs who haven't really shown that skill set whatsoever, especially up against Charlton Athletic, where he didn't look like his best. I mean, he's been that similar sort of player since the Oxford game, and yes, that right mid spot isn't the best. I think Tony Springett should be covering that position. I still think Gibbs isn't that ideal player to be played there, but I think with Felipe Clement, I think we can do anything. I think we have that power to absolutely go for it up against Portsmouth. And speaking of Portsmouth, with them sat 21st with only 1 point in their last 6 games, it looks like they will be fighting for their lives, as they are 1 point off relegation, with Leicester City on 39 points in 22nd and Portsmouth on 40 points, sat in 21st. As Jacob Murphy, who hasn't been the best player for Portsmouth, and I believe he is out injured at the minute. He will return to Carrow Road for, I think it's his third time back at Carrow Road since leaving us. And well, Portsmouth looking to keep that 5-3 scoreline in Norwich City's hearts, which was one of Johannes Torp's last ever games at Carrow Road. And Norwich City looking like they need to get that revenge back against the Portsmouth side. As well, they haven't had their best season. As yes, they finished outside the relegation space last season in 17th. But I think it looks like they could potentially go down towards the end of this season. But I think if they beat us, they'll probably survive. But I think with the form they're in, I think we are looking like we could absolutely smash them with the form that we are in. And with as I've said, with them being on 40 points, they need 50 to stay up. And I think they're just probably going to not look like they're going to survive in the Premier League, the Championship, if they keep going on like this. I mean, with the good away support that they do have, and I have heard them, they are incredibly electric across the board. Yes, we did beat them at Fratton Park under Liam Manning, which is one of his only wins for Norwich City, and that was his first and not last, but one of his only wins for us. But I think with Portsmouth in the form that they're in, I think we have the chance to absolutely batter them at Carrow Road, as we have done with loads of teams this season under Philippe Clement, who under Liam Manning we weren't really able to defeat whatsoever. But I think with this team that Portsmouth have this season, I think we can do absolute wonders up against them. But I think the predicted 11 that I will go for the game that we have coming up, I think Kavis Gordon is going to be up front. I have no doubt. He hasn't really been the best goal scorer whatsoever. I think the only teams that he's really been able to provide is up against Sheffield Wednesday, and that's practically it. In that sort of attacking range, I'd say Ali Ahmed, Slimani and Liam Gibbs. As much as I don't want Liam Gibbs in there and I would prefer Tony Springett, I wouldn't be surprised if Philippe Clement goes for him again. I would probably prefer Paris Magoma on that right-hand side with his technical ability. But, I mean, I think he's more of that centre attacking midfielder, prowess player, apart from that. But in the midfield, I think we're going to have to go for that duo of Kenny McLean and Pally Matson, one of the best midfield duos in the Championship, with their playmaker ability and able to pass the ball practically anywhere. And that link-up play certainly is what we have missed over the last couple of games when Matson and Kenny McLean have been out during those games. And at the back, I think Fisher is going to have to be in that left-back position. We have no left-backs at all. 4 players out injured in that left-back role, and I'd love to see Fisher potentially play on the right if he can, but I think he's probably a bit more better on that left-back position because I put Stacey there, and I think Stacey is probably best suited in that right-back position and could probably even fit him for the right-winger position, as he somewhat did towards the end of last season, and showed it up against Portsmouth last season. At the back, we're keeping Cordoba and McConville the best centre-back pairing, and I think if we can keep that pairing for next season, I think it is a Premier League fighting centre-back pairing if we can. And Kovacevic in goal, he has to stay in that position. I think as much as Grimshaw hasn't been too bad when he has played, I think Kovacevic obviously has to be playing. I've put Torre, Schwarta and Medic on the bench. I think I just expect those players to still be in that line. As much as they're good players, I don't think they will be playing, especially with Torre and Schwarta having come back from injury. I think we need to slowly bring them back because a player like Torre needs to be cherished, loved and cared for the quality that he can produce for the Aussie lad himself. I think the score prediction I'm going to go for is potentially a 3-1 win because I still think we don't have that defensive capability of keeping a clean sheet as we have somewhat been able to over the last couple of games, but I think we will concede at least one. But I think I have no doubt that we will absolutely batter Portsmouth. No disrespect to them, but yeah. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. But thank you very much for watching. Come on, Yellows. Cheers. And well, tell me what your thoughts are and what your score prediction is. Cheers. Come on, Yellows. And goodbye.